Yeah.
Fuck. I'm such an idiot. Today is August the 8th of 2017. Yesterday, my 2-year passport expired. 2 days ago, I was supposed to be boarding a Las Vegas-bound flight to attend the big RSD event, which Angel and Derek so graciously included me in. I'm the idiot who didn't properly verify that my passport is indeed expiring in 2 days when I'm supposed to go to Vegas tomorrow. So I can't really, I don't have room to really pity party myself because it's doy, right?
Yeah.
That's it. And that's why my girlfriend loves me. What if I was crying right now, Camelia?
I don't know. That wouldn't be you.
You know me. I have a psycho belief that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay? So I just fucked up a big opportunity. I am supposed to be going to Las Vegas tomorrow for the Real Social Dynamics Summit where all the instructors are, and my friend got one of the instructors to put my name on the list, and it's I'm going. I bought the flight, I bought the Airbnb, it's I'm going, one direction. And I'm leaving in an hour to basically just go to where my flight's gonna be. And I check my passport, and my passport expires in 2 days!
Oh.
I told Angel on Saturday, 3 days ago, that I'm sorry. Somehow, so last minute with flights and Airbnb booked, I didn't see that my passport expires exactly when I should be taking off on my trip. I remember checking though. I knew it was expiring August of this year. How did I miss it? The passport says Aug 17. What must have happened is somewhere in my brilliant mind, I would think I saw the 17th of August. Then I thought, that's great, because my return from Vegas would be the 12th of August. My theory is that some cog in my brain circuitry decided to see what it wanted to see, dialed in its own cowardice and desire to safely stay the course, even though it should be obvious it read August 17 as in year. It somehow chose not to see the date at the left. Actual expiration, 7th of August, 2017. At least I don't have to worry about packing my bag now. Maybe my inclination for number dyslexia had me misunderstand the sevens. I only saw my fuck up an hour before my bus to Toronto. In that moment, I laughed, felt stupid, and cancelled everything except Airbnb, which I would share with Angel. In case I haven't been up to date, which is certainly possible, Angel's a new friend I met online, later in Chicago, and had an awesome hot seat weekend with. I seriously was not ready to go on my trip. The rush passport process is horrific. I remember doing it exactly 2 years ago with Camelia. The stress, no. At this point on Saturday, when I realized my mistake, I did not get too butthurt. I took it as it came, owned up to it, and decided it may be for the best. Everything is meant to be. Within an hour of beginning to accept this, an awful sinus congestion and month-long cough caught up to me, fast. My whole head felt swollen and I could only effectively breathe through my mouth. I feel so sick. It's for a month we've had this cough, and now that all my plans are destroyed by yours truly, now my body's catching up to me and telling me to be a sick person. It's funny, an hour ago, this all collapsed on itself, and now I feel so sick. But I actually, am sick. I would not want to be this sick in Vegas, I thought. Monday is a holiday, and I have work. At least I will get time and a half, I told Camelia. More time to cuddle, we celebrated. The following day was the Sunday. Camelia had work. Both Graham, Brienne had friends at the cottage. Rory was there too. I can't go to Vegas, I thought. If I can't go, I can at least take magic mushrooms. I consumed what looked like 1.5 grams, less than I normally do, but this time I would not make it in tea. Rather, just take it directly. I squished the stems into small sizes, placed them at the back of my tongue, and swallowed, washing it down with water. For the next 2 hours, I felt like my whole head smelt of shrooms. I sat in the sun with occasional clouds of overcast and gently vibed with my own presence. I adore small doses of mushrooms. I find it makes me sober, calm, present. Whenever I can, I prefer to read on shrooms. I was reading a book from the Power vs. Force author about health and recovery. The chapter was about weight loss and which thinking patterns to adopt or surrender when in relation to one's food. Something about the approach of being okay with food no matter what must have planted a seed in my mind, which was quickly nourished by my susceptible shrooms consciousness. The author says how you can achieve an indifference to food, something I certainly struggle with, and if it's a steak or just a bowl of plain rice, you are okay. If I get the steak, great. If not, that's okay too. Suddenly I feel hungry, a sensation I'm trying to familiarize myself with before instantly giving in. Something happened, who knows, what is time? Camellia was driven home early from work, bad period cramps. I took an hour and a half to make yummy natural food, opposed to her eager request of craft dinner. You can't ask a girl on shrooms to make KD. We ate, we chatted. At this point, especially with the shrooms, I felt I really accepted not going to Vegas. I've let it go. But that seemed to have still left the door of curiosity ajar. Coming down from the gentle high, I get on my computer and start discreetly Googling when Owen's next hot seat is. It doesn't say. What about Max? Too far. Then, one last time, I Googled the steps required for a rush passport. It must have been nearly 6 p.m. and everything changed. Maybe I can make it work, I say to Camellia. She already considers me insane, unpredictable, fun. I Google buses to Toronto overnight. I see one going at 4 a.m. I begin imagining myself cycling in the pitch darkness with a heavy backpack on to the bus station. The thought excites me. In that moment, I overhear that my cousin Rory is driving back to the city. Now. I find him and tell him to wait up. He guilts me a bit and I promise him I'll be packed in 15 minutes. I was ready in 8 and we still did not leave for another half hour. Back at the passport place, which means this is actually the moment of truth. Am I going to Vegas tonight? While packing, my heart is pumping. I can't really think straight. So much adrenaline and excitement is clouding my judgment. I apologize to Camellia and simultaneously list essential items in my mind. Former passport, birth certificate, IDs, computer, what else? What else? Alright, moment of truth revealed. I'm going to Vegas and my flight's in just a few hours. Camellia is confused every time I say sorry on my way out. When packing, I made sure to concentrate on essential travel documents and not anything else. To avoid decision fatigue, I throw all the clothes I own in a bag. At the last minute, in a second of calm, I managed to remember my toothbrush. And the reason why I didn't focus on doing high quality video blogging of my journey to get my passport is because my whole attitude getting this passport is keep my eye on the prize. And to clarify what the prize is not actually having the passport, having the trip to Vegas. It's not, because I've already let go of that. I'm done. If I go to Vegas, I'm happy. If not, I'm happy. It's okay. The eye on the prize for me, for someone like me, who's an introvert, who doesn't like to take risks inherently, the eye on the prize is the moment. So yes, being in tune with the moment. When I'm waiting in line for 2 hours, I'm just in line for 2 hours. What's the big deal? When I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, the waiting game of getting a rush passport, which determines my fate of if I travel or not, my eye was on the prize, and the prize is just being, I'm here right now, I'm completely full right now, everything's okay right now. Because that gives me the insurance that if I don't get my passport, I knew that everything I was doing up until that moment, everything's okay. So when I don't get my passport because something goes wrong, references, guarantor, timing, who knows, government just wants to be, you know, then I'm okay. But I have my fucking passport, so I'm gonna go treat myself to some Indian food and we'll see what Vegas has in store. Now I'm ready. I'm anxious and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Camellia, that I do this. I'm unpredictable. Now, with very little warning, I'm leaving. She's dumbfounded by my apologies. It reminds me that it's this roller coaster ride of Spenny that she fell in love with. After 4 a.m. and that is, you can't even really see. I don't understand things right now. Boom! That's the Fairmont behind me, which is really funny because I slept on a bench all night right behind the Fairmont. But waking up at 4 a.m. in an area that all night was all quiet and there were only a few other travelers sleeping, and now it's just full of people getting ready to check in for flights, and you could hear their bags rolling. That makes you think like, oh, it's time to actually wake up, whether or not I could sleep more, because there's something so vulnerable about sleeping in a public space and being exposed to strangers who woke up maybe 2 hours ago and took a cab here, you know, and they're feeling refreshed and hopeful about the travels ahead of them, and I am a mere peasant on a bench inside the airport outside of the Fairmont. I actually probably had a better time on the bench than I would at the Fairmont. But she asks, curiously, what changed? The second she asked, I knew there wasn't a logical reason. I lack pragmatic logic most of the time. It's a feeling. Alright, so I am going to Vegas today. This is it. This is the day you are watching. I was about to not go to Vegas at all this week. At all. I truly gave up on it in my heart. And then I decided to just fucking go for it and push all of my savings and priorities down the drain and just say like, life's too short not to try. I gotta just jump at it and try and give it a go. And just to clarify what I meant in an earlier video from yesterday, what I mean when I say like eye on the prize and the prize being the moment, and that's the reason why I couldn't do a proper video blog where I pull out my camera and just actually speak with you, is because I'm so sensitive. Like I'm really sensitive. Like that Feminist Reveals Shocking Truth About Pickup Artist Seminar video that I put out, it getting more than 3,000 views, like more than 3,000. By the way, it's at like 145,000. Initially when I got more than 3,000 views, like that hit me, like that hurt. And every view thereafter and exposure of myself hurt. It hurt me because I'm so sensitive, I'm so vulnerable. So the passport process thing, that is something, first of all, I've done before, and it's kind of traumatizing because how much work goes into getting a rush passport. And second of all, it's like, I can't be video blogging about something that it's not about getting the passport, and I don't want to glorify the process of obtaining the passport. Like the passport itself that permits me to travel, I don't want to glorify that. I want to be here in the moment and glorify every moment that I'm in. Because if all I'm doing is thinking about that end result, then waiting in line and waiting around and waiting to find out if I'm traveling, given that I put all my priorities and financial shit in the toilet, it would be really painful. But instead it's like I'm zoned in. All I'm doing is one step at a time. Focusing on just doing one step at a time is a great way to go about life. Because what else is there to do in this life? Is it really about achieving some sort of accomplishments? Is it really about years and years in school? Is it really about getting married? Is it about having kids? Is it about a mortgage, house? Is it all about these things? Is it? I don't know. I'm 22, I'm a naive little baby. I don't know. But what I do know and what has worked for me is the whole process of focusing one step at a time, one foot in front of another, one step at a time. Because someone like me easily gets overwhelmed and pushed into a little corner of my small little self if I look at bigger pictures. Other people I know are totally turned on by the big picture, by the big vision behind it all. For me, I feel this sense of power in my heart that there's something big, there's something larger than life that I and my peers are capable of. But I don't get off on trying to visualize the details. I get off on holding that power and then just executing one step at a time, understanding that each step is taking me where I need to go, even if I don't always understand where it is that I'm going. Tears well up in my eyes. I try to stay calm, avoid my voice cracking as I say, life is just too short. And in that moment I see images of both my Uncle Michaels flash in my mind's eye. Sherry Thomas, not to mention Creed, or Emily, who is thankfully still alive but has had cancer scares twice before she was even 18. Olivier, life is too short not to try. With all those sentimental feelings on the shortness of life, I also remember that I took shrooms not even 6 hours ago. They make me so sensitive, so very in tune. I'm not sure what empowerment I would have tapped into without them. I like to think I would have figured it out, but I doubt it. Shrooms, as I said, they sober me up. What I mean is, they help me get out of my own way. They create a space that is free of fear and insecurities. Suddenly, I'm left only with curiosity. While Rory shoots his BB gun with 2 other boys, I love my girlfriend in hugs and kisses before I leave. I tell her how up until now I was afraid to try, afraid of the discomfort in putting myself out there, to be vulnerable, tagged along, rejected by the passport office, lose my garbage sorting job. But I guess it was a moment of realizing that with or without Vegas, I am okay. I am whole. I am good. If I get the steak, great. If not, that's okay too. Once I've accepted that everything is perfect and precise regardless of the outcome, it's foolish not to try. If the outcome of trying really mattered, that would be hard. But I let go. I don't need Vegas. I don't need to hear Owen again. I don't need to see the rest of RSD live in person. Why would I? Everything is already okay, which is exactly why I aggressively took the chance. In Rory's car, with Cairo the 3-legged dog, we sat fumbling through music and podcasts during a warm orange sunset highlighted by streaks of pink. I can't stop smiling. I feel higher than I did when I was actually on shrooms. I can breathe. The previous day's sinus inflammation and phlegmy coughs are completely absent. I breathe deeply through my nostrils for the first time in a month. As we ride through traffic, I try to listen to the podcast, but all I'm thinking about is what's next. This is pretty funny. Like, everything's supposed to go according to plan, more or less. It never fucking does, but you know, I've been traveling all friggin' day non-stop, and finally I'm back in Bracebridge where my cottage is, and all I need is just to call a cab to pick. But of course the cabs, somehow all of them, all 3 companies in the small town of Bracebridge, are a 2-hour wait. So I'm gonna go do some good old-fashioned hitchhiking. All right, Gavin's gonna.
I haven't put on my sexy lights. There you go.
Gavin's gonna give me a shot here on. You can't even see. This is basically a scooter.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot.
So
brand new batteries. 3 days
I've done this before, dude. Gavin, thank you so much.
Take a picture of me.
That's amazing. My mom is gonna be so afraid for me. Okay, Gavin on his scooter that we can't quite see.
We pulled a rescue operation.
Holy shit, dude. And you actually
We had
managed...
me, her, and her 70-pound pack.
So, oh my god, this flash. So that was... I don't even know how to explain how I just went on a scooter with some man who's wearing a jean jacket with no shirt under the jean jacket and his fucking hairy belly poking out. And he'd never ever, he's had his scooter for 7 years and he's never had another person on it before. That was his first time doing that. And my crazy backpack. And I got on, no helmet. Dude, that's so dumb, but that was so much fun. Oh my god. So, you know, this morning I was in Las Vegas, and now I'm all the way in Bucktown, Muskoka, Bracebridge, and riding with Gavin on his scooter. And this is how to live.